morning. It's Monday. It's the 15th of May, 2017. Today's the deadline for the vampire anthology, and I am not going to make it. I've been lying to myself about writing this vampire story. It is not my thing. My heart's not in it. I don't want to write it, so why am I forcing myself to write it? I just made some tea, so this is very hot. So, even though it took me all the way until the deadline, I'm okay with giving up on this one. Because the thing is that when you're a writer, the whole point of writing, especially short stories for anthologies, the whole point of writing short stories for anthologies is to get your name out there to a wider audience. So people read a short story in a book, they really like it, they go look for your other stuff. I've always believed that the best way to promote your writing is to write more. Because eventually something's going to hit. Eventually people are going to love something. And then they'll go back and they'll read your back catalog. So it should always be there. So if somebody loves my vampire story, I mean, that's really great. But then they're going to go look at my back catalog and there's not going to be anything that's the same. So I'm kind of misleading people. I'm kind of actually leading them on, making them think that I'm the kind of writer that they want when I'm not, really. So I might eventually write this vampire story because I do kind of like the premise of it. You know, like, I have like this working title of it's the 700-year itch. How these two vampires have been together for 700 years. And they're like, is this still working? Do we still want to be together? And so it's kind of like a breaking apart and coming back together story. Nope, still too hot. Anyway, so today I'm not going to write that story. But I am thinking a lot about writing today, for some reason. So I think I might do some brainstorming on some other ideas that I have. The next anthology is about jobs. So, stories about sex on the job. So I'm thinking about that one. Not sure what I'm going to write yet. But that one, way more my style. I mean, not that I love work, but just that it's so open that I could write anything and it could fit in there. And it's any pairing, which is really nice too. I could write gay guys, I could write lesbians, I could write a straight story. I could write a threesome. Really kind of into the threesome right now. I've written one before. But I've been watching Riverdale. The two pairings at the end of Riverdale, or at the end of the first season, Archie and Veronica are together, and Betty and Jughead are together. And when I was a little kid reading Archie comics, I always really liked Betty. I mean, she was way more me than Veronica. Number one, because I'm not rich. But I always really secretly loved Betty and Jughead being a thing. It never happened in the comic books, but I always really kind of wanted it to happen because Archie and Veronica were always a little bit more, they were always a little bit more in love, whereas Archie and Betty were always a little bit more best friends who dated. So it never seemed like one of those great love stories. It was always like, we're friends, let's make out, let's, you know, have dates at Pops, that kind of thing. I really want this tea, and I keep sipping it, but it's not ready yet. That's the problem with having it right there. But on the show, Riverdale, Betty and Jughead actually get together, and I really love it, because it's like the fulfillment of like my 9-year-old dreams from when I was 9, not that they're 9 years old. But at the same time, there's always like crossover between that core four, the Archie, Veronica, Betty, and Jughead, right? Because Betty and Archie are like best friends, but Jughead and Archie are best friends, and Betty and Veronica are best friends. And they're all like dating each other's best friends. So it's like, eventually there's going to be some cross hookups going on there. Anyway, I really would love to see that happen, or like that exploration happen in the next season. Because, I mean, well, Jughead isn't living with Archie anymore at the end of the show, but you never know. Who knows what could have happened in that bedroom. So anyway, the June 1st deadline is actually for Threesomes, specifically Threesomes and Moresomes. So it's about werewolves. So I might write something for that. Maybe I'll write something inspired by Archie and Jughead and Betty and Veronica. Oh, now I just reached for my tea again. So that's a sign that I should say goodbye for the day. Go drink my tea. Do some brainstorming. Some thinking, some writing. My notebook is coming to an end. I'm into the last, like, maybe 20 pages of it. So I'd really like to finish it this week. My goal is always kind of nominally to finish one notebook a month. That's the Natalie Goldberg plan. So usually I can do it. This time I did not do it. I started this one at the beginning of April. So if I can finish it before the end of May, that would make me happy. And then I have to go buy a new one. Luckily, they're only $1.50. That's why you can fill it in a month. Anyway, I will say goodbye, and I will see you tomorrow.